Hello and welcome to this video where we will provide a more detailed analysis of the recent BRICS trade deal that happened this week between Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and China, where they announced a new agreement to ditch the US dollar and trade between themselves in their own currencies. The significance of this trade deal cannot be overstated. To fully understand the implications of this move, we need to first understand the concept of the petrodollar. The petrodollar is a term used to describe the use of the US dollar as the primary currency for international oil transactions. This arrangement was put in place in the 1970s after the US made a deal with Saudi Arabia, which allowed the US to purchase oil in US dollars in exchange for military protection. The use of the US dollar as the world's reserve currency has been a key factor in the global dominance of the US economy. It has allowed the US to print more money than it would otherwise be able to, as other countries have had to buy US dollars in order to purchase oil. This arrangement has given the US a significant advantage in international trade and finance, but it has also made the US economy vulnerable to changes in the global oil market. The recent BRICS trade deal represents a significant challenge to the petrodollar. The agreement between Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and China to trade in their own currencies means that they no longer need to rely on the US dollar for international trade. This reduces the demand for US dollars and weakens its position as the world's reserve currency. The loss of the petrodollar could lead to hyperinflation in the US economy. Hyperinflation occurs when there is a rapid and excessive increase in the supply of money, which can lead to a decrease in the value of the currency. The loss of the petrodollar could lead to a significant devaluation of the US dollar, which could have far-reaching consequences for the US and its trading partners. The reason there's no longer a demand for the petrodollar is because Saudi Arabia didn't believe the United States had the capability to protect them anymore after the US failed in pulling out of Afghanistan, so they made a new security agreement with Russia. This move by Saudi Arabia has serious implications for the US economy, as the loss of the petrodollar could lead to a significant devaluation of the US dollar. The BRICS trade deal is set to economically strike the West due to the Belt and Road Initiative as well as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization being in place. The Belt and Road Initiative is a massive infrastructure project led by China that aims to connect Asia, Europe, and Africa through a network of highways, railways, and ports. The project is expected to cost trillions of dollars and is designed to boost economic growth in the region. The Shanghai Cooperation Organization is an alliance of Eurasian countries that includes China, Russia, and several Central Asian states. The organization was founded in 2001 and is aimed at promoting economic, political, and security cooperation between its members. The organization is also seen as a counterbalance to the US-led NATO alliance in the region. The BRICS countries have been working together to establish an alternative economic system that is not reliant on the West. The BRICS countries account for nearly half of the world's population and a significant portion of global GDP. This means that the West is set to face serious trouble if it does not adapt to this new economic reality. In conclusion, the recent BRICS trade deal between Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and China is a significant challenge to the petrodollar and the dominance of the US dollar as the world's reserve currency. The loss of the petrodollar could lead to hyperinflation in the US and significant devaluation of the US dollar. The BRICS countries are set to economically strike the West due to the Belt and Road Initiative and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, which represent a shift in economic power away from the West and towards the East. The Belt and Road Initiative is a massive infrastructure project that could provide significant economic benefits to countries that are involved in the project, while the Shanghai Cooperation Organization represents a potential challenge to the US-led NATO alliance. It is worth noting that this is not the first time that the BRICS countries have challenged the dominance of the US dollar. In 2013, the BRICS countries announced the creation of a new development bank, the New Development Bank, which is intended to provide an alternative source of funding for infrastructure projects in developing countries. The establishment of this bank was seen as a challenge to the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund, which are dominated by the US and its allies. The BRICS countries have also been working to establish a new international payment system, known as the BRICS payment system. This system is intended to provide an alternative to the SWIFT system, which is dominated by the US and its allies. The establishment of the BRICS payment system could reduce the dependence of BRICS countries on the US dollar for international trade. In summary, The recent BRICS trade deal between Brazil, Saudi Arabia, and China is a significant development that could have far-reaching consequences for the global economy. The loss of the petrodollar could lead to hyperinflation in the US and significant devaluation of the US dollar. The Belt and Road Initiative and the Shanghai Cooperation Organization represent a shift in economic power away from the West and towards the East. The BRICS countries have been working to establish an alternative economic system that is not reliant on the West, which could reduce the dependence of BRICS countries on the US dollar for international trade. The US and its allies will need to adapt to this new economic reality if they wish to remain competitive in the global economy. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell to be notified of future categories content.